Welcome friends. Have a discussion over the next part of oxygen family, that is anomalous behavior of the oxygen. See, oxygen, the first member of the oxygen family, is having differences from the other elements of the family, and the reasons for the differences and the differences, the spot, the situation where oxygen makes a difference with respect to the others. Let us have a discussion. See, this particular behavior, peculiar behavior where oxygen makes difference is said to be the special property. That special is abnormal, hence it is said to be what? Anomalous property. The reasons for anomalous properties are like this. See, the size of the oxygen is smaller. This is the smallest atom in the particular group of oxygen family. Due to having of smallest size, it is having its effect over the properties, hence it is showing some different properties. Second one is, it is having higher ionization potential and also higher electronegativity. It is also highest in the group. Due to this reason also, it is having some special properties. And another one reason is, it is having electronic configuration, general electronic configuration as 2s to 2p4. That n value is 2s to 2p4 implies second orbit. Second orbit is not having any kind of d orbital. As being it is not having any kind of d orbital, it doesn't expand the electrons to the nearest energy level. Due to this reason also, it is having some abnormality. And the last case that can influence the abnormal property is number of electrons in the penultimate shell. The penultimate number of electrons is also one of the influencing factor. The penultimate number of electrons in case of oxygen are just 2, whereas remaining are maintaining higher than 2. Some of them are maintaining 8 and remaining all are maintaining 18. Especially sulfur is 8, remaining all are what? 18. Due to having of different number of electrons in the penultimate shell, it shows difference in properties. Thus, the reasons for the anomalous behavior of oxygen is, one is size, smallest size. Second one is having of highest ionization potential and the electronegativity. Third one is not having of d orbitals for the promotion of electron from the lower energy level to nearest higher energy level, thereby to show different varieties of oxidation states and the valencies is not possible. And the last case is just having of 2 electrons in the penultimate shell, which is different from the others. Due to these factors, oxygen shows difference in properties compared to the others, and these properties are said to be anomalous properties. These are the reasons for the anomalous properties. Let us go for the abnormal properties, the points where abnormality is maintained. Yes, the points of difference. One is, the first one, the foremost one is atomicity. If you look at the atomicity, oxygen is diatomic molecule, whereas in ozone, the atomicity of oxygen is 3. Whereas the general existing elemental state, oxygen is maintaining atomicity 2, whereas remaining elements like sulfur, selenium, tellurium, etc. are existing as 8 atoms combination in the puckered ring structure. So therefore, in atomicity there is a difference. Here atomicity is 2, whereas in general the atomicity of oxygen is 2, and in general the remaining elements atomicity is not 2, that is 8. That is the point where they makes the difference. And second one is magnetic nature. Let us go for the magnetic nature. As per the molecular orbital theory and the corresponding molecular orbital diagrams, there are 2 unpaired electrons in the oxygen. As a result, unpaired electron offers magnetic nature, that is paramagnetic in nature, whereas remaining are diamagnetic in nature. So therefore, here with respect to magnetic nature, oxygen and the remaining other elements are also having difference. And third one is general oxidation state. Oxygen is more electronegative, already we made the discussion. Hence the general oxidation state of oxygen is -2. Whereas remaining elements can show sometimes -2 and generally shows +2, +4, +6. These are the oxidation states shown by the remaining elements, because there is empty d orbital, electron can be promoted from one orbital to the nearest other energy orbital. Thereby, number of unpaired electrons increases. As number of unpaired electrons increases, its corresponding oxidation numbers and oxidation state also increases. The next one is hydrides. Let us go for the hydrides. Already we made the discussion. Oxygen hydride is water. Otherwise, this is water. Water molecule is a natural universal solvent, whereas in water hydrogen bonding is present. Due to having of hydrogen bonding, that intermolecular force of attraction is higher. Due to having of higher dipole-dipole interaction, one edge of dipole-dipole interaction is this hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bond is eligible in case of water because the atom size and electronegativity all supports the hydrogen bonding. Due to having of this hydrogen bonding here in case of water, its melting point is high compared to the remaining other hydrides. Similarly, its boiling point is also high compared to the remaining other hydrides. So therefore, here hydrides, water as well as remaining boiling point of water is highest compared to the remaining other hydrides. This is due to what? Hydrogen bonding ability present in the water molecules. This is also due to what? Abnormality present in the oxygen. The next one is multiple bonding. Yes, oxygen is smaller atom. When it combines with the other atoms, the maximum overlapping of orbitals is present. Due to this reason, even lateral orbitals, that is, which are not present on the molecular axis, which are perpendicular to the molecular axis and having ability to form pi bond, can involve in pi bond formation. Thus, it is having ability to form pi bonds. That is, oxygen generally forms p pi bonds. Whereas this formation ability of pi bonds, especially p pi bond ability, is very little and is decreasing for the remaining elements because orbital size increases. As orbital size increases, the common portion for the overlapping, the hybridized common portion of the overlapping decreases. As a result, interaction strength decreases. So that is not eligible for the formation of bond. A stage reached attractions is said to be a bond, but it is not up to the mark of attractions. Due to this reason, the remaining elements are having less ability, and if you go from top to bottom, the ability to form pi bonds decreases for the remaining elements of the oxygen family. And the last one is valency. General valency of oxygen is 2, whereas covalency, if it donates its lone pair of electron, it can form maximum 3 bonds, whereas the remaining elements, that is sulfur, selenium, etc., they are having 6 unpaired electrons in the first and the second excited situations. As a result of having 6 unpaired electrons in the normal situation of excitations, they can form maximum 6 bonds. Whereas normal bonds formed by oxygen are 2, its valency is 2. In the extreme conditions, it can show another 1 bond, so therefore its covalency is considered as 3. Whereas the maximum covalent bonds formed by the remaining elements are 6, hence its covalency is considered as 6. Thus, these are the spots where the oxygen and the other elements will make the difference. The reasons are like this, and the points of differences: one is atomicity, second one is magnetic nature, third one is general oxidation state, and next one is hydride formations, and next one is multiple bonds, and the last one is covalence. If I look at the numbers: atomicity, magnetic nature, general oxidation states, hydride related properties, multiple bonds, and the covalency. In these particular cases, oxygen will make difference from the others. Yes, the next part is sulfur dioxide. The exclusive discussion of sulfur dioxide here we are making, that is preparation methods followed by properties of the sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide, the molecular formula is SO2, whereas the structure related information is already discussed. Sulfur dioxide is having structure like angular shape is there because it is having a lone pair of electron, and it is non-metal oxide and it is having acidic nature. Already we made the discussion that one, and it forms two varieties of salts. One is sulfite and second one is bisulfite. This is information related to sulfur dioxide. Let us go for the preparation. Number one, sulfur on reaction with atmospheric air, sulfur on reaction with limited quantity of oxygen, it directly combines with the sulfur and the oxygen, and that leads to the formation of sulfur dioxide. In this particular reaction, here oxidation number of sulfur increases and oxidation number of oxygen decreases. Hence, this reaction is example for redox reaction. Hence, this reaction is an example for redox reaction. Similarly, sulfides also on reaction with the oxygen or air, they will be also converted to sulfur dioxide. Some of the sulfides like ferrous sulfide is there, zinc sulfides are there. Thus, ferrous sulfide and the zinc sulfide on reaction with atmospheric oxygen are converted to corresponding oxides followed by what? Sulfur dioxide. Suppose in case of zinc, this zero oxidation state is converted to positive oxidation state, and this minus oxidation state is converted to positive oxidation state. Both are undergoing oxidation. Whereas here oxygen zero state is converted to minus 2 here, minus 2 here. Hence, these of all reactions are redox reactions. Thus, ferrous sulfide, D black element, ferrous sulfide, that is iron sulfide on reaction with atmospheric oxygen. Similarly, zinc sulfide on reaction with the atmospheric oxygen combines with the oxygen, and they will be converted to corresponding metal oxides followed by what? Sulfur dioxide. This is method number 2. And method number 3, as we said, sulfite is the salt of sulfur dioxide. Sulfite is formed when sulfur dioxide is allowed to react with the metal oxides. So some of the sulfites on heating at high temperature undergoes decomposition in such a way that they will be giving metal oxide followed by what? Sulfur dioxide. See here in this case, magnesium is maintaining +2 oxidation state, whereas magnesium also maintaining here +2 as the oxidation state, whereas sulfur is maintaining +4 oxidation state. Sulfur is maintaining +4 oxidation state here. Every oxygen atom is maintaining -2 oxidation state. Here also in product, every oxygen is maintaining -2 as the state. It is just a decomposition reaction and it is non-redox reaction. Yes, it is non-redox because there is no oxidation, there is no reduction. So it is non-redox. And in this reaction, a bigger molecule is converted to 2 units of smaller molecule. Hence, it is example for the decomposition, that is non-redox decomposition reaction takes place on heating sulfides. Sulfides are converted to metal oxides followed by what? Sulfur dioxide. The next one is some metal sulfides like sodium sulfide and the bisulfides, sodium bisulfide, because they are having basic in nature. This is metal followed by sulfide, that is non-metal oxide. This is a salt actually, but this salt is having the major contribution is the character, influencing character of this particular composition is basic character, because sodium is dominating, cation is dominating, its characters are dominating, hence it is having basic nature, it is also having basic nature. Thus, the metal sulfide and the metal bisulfide, which are having character wise basic in nature, these metal sulfides and the metal bisulfides of sodium on reaction with the acids like HCl, because this is base, this is acid, neutralization reaction takes place at some high temperature. Here what happens is, here once again new salt formation, stable salt formation takes place, that is acid and the base combination, neutralization occurs here. Sodium chloride formation followed by what? Sulfur dioxide formation takes place, because sulfur dioxide is a gas. Here also sulfur dioxide is a gas. Generally, if gas liberates, entropy increases. That entropy increment is makes the system's delta G as negative, and it is making a drive for the progress of the reaction in the forward direction. So therefore here sulfides and the bisulfides on reaction with the acids like HCl are forming salts like sodium chloride followed by sulfur dioxide, salts like sodium chloride followed by sulfur dioxide and the water here. Thus, sulfides and the bisulfides on reaction with acid leads to the formation of, once again, sulfur dioxide. Here also, there won't be any kind of reduction. There won't be any kind of oxidation. Oxidation numbers of all entities remains same. Hence, it is non-redox double displacement reaction. It is non-redox double displacement reaction. And the next one is metals like copper and magnesium on reaction with concentrated sulfuric acid, because concentrated sulfuric acid is having the ability to undergo reduction, whereas dilute sulfuric acid does not goes any kind of reduction, whereas concentrated sulfuric acid is just having the ability to undergo the reduction process. Thus, metals which are having ability to undergo oxidation on reaction with concentrated sulfuric acid, where sulfur is maintaining highest possible oxidation state, these on reaction with one another, here what happens is copper sulfate, copper underwent oxidation, and the counter reduction is possible in sulfuric acid sulfur, and that is reduced to sulfur dioxide. Similarly, magnesium, it is converted as magnesium sulfate oxidation, followed by sulfur undergoes reduction from the +6 oxidation state to the +4 oxidation state. Hence, it is example for the redox reaction. And at the same time, some of the non-metals like carbon and the sulfur also on reaction with the concentrated sulfuric acid. Here also the same reaction takes place and leads to the formation of sulfur dioxide, because as sulfur dioxide formation increases, sulfur dioxide formation occurs, entropy increases because gaseous substance increases, entropy increases, delta G becomes negative. That delta G negative is acting as driving force for the forwardness of the reaction. Here in this case, it is converted to carbon dioxide followed by sulfur dioxide formations. Here it is converted to sulfur dioxide followed by water, whereas this reaction is liberating lot of amount of heat energy. So therefore, here sulfur dioxide present is just present as sulfur dioxide gas. Next, calcium sulfate, which is known as anhydrite. This is obtained from the gypsum. This on reaction with the carbon, that is charcoal, it will be converted to calcium oxide followed by sulfur dioxide and the carbon dioxide. In this case also, sulfur dioxide is obtained. Calcium is maintaining its same oxidation state, sulfur is maintaining its same oxidation state, but carbon is undergoing oxidation, whereas sulfur is maintaining here +6 state is converted to +4 state, and carbon 0 is converted to carbon +4 state. It underwent oxidation and this underwent reduction, hence it is an example for the redox reaction. But this reaction is possible at very high elevated temperature, like near 1000 degrees centigrade, that is calcium sulfate, that is not the sulfite, calcium sulfate. Sulfate is having excess amount of oxygen because here SO4 2- is present. Hence that oxygen will comes out in the form of what? Carbon dioxide as well as calcium oxide, etc. So therefore, calcium sulfate at high temperature like 1000 degrees centigrade on reaction with which it is reacting? Carbon, charcoal, it is converted to metal oxide, calcium oxide, followed by what? Some of the oxygen of sulfate is converted to once again carbon dioxide, which is acting as a driving force. Then the sulfur which is present of +6 state is reduced to +4 state, and that is what sulfur dioxide formation takes place. But this occurs at very high temperature. Suppose if calcium oxide having basic nature, sulfur dioxide is having acidic nature, generally they form a new compound, that is what? Calcium sulfide. Calcium sulfide formation takes place. But as it is maintaining very high temperature, once again it is present in the form of calcium oxide and the sulfur dioxide. Whereas sulfur dioxide, if it is having any kind of moisture, it has to be reacted with, it has to be sent through the sulfuric acid chamber, because sulfuric acid is acting as gas, best dehydrating agent. Even calcium oxide is also best dehydrating agent, but it is not used because this calcium oxide is having basic nature. It readily combines with the sulfur dioxide and forms calcium sulfide. But we want moisture free, dry sulfur dioxide. To get dry sulfur dioxide, the same nature containing substances are used. The same nature containing substance is acidic nature, acidic substance. That acidic substance is sulfuric acid. Hence, if this is sent through the sulfuric acid, then sulfuric acid just to take the moisture, whereas sulfur dioxide remains as sulfur dioxide and it is moisture free, and we can say it as dry sulfur dioxide. Thus sulfuric acid followed by sulfur dioxide having some moisture, if it is sent, it is converted as disulfur dioxide because the moisture is taken by the sulfuric acid. In that way, sulfuric acid is generally dry. Let us go for once again about the view related to the different varieties of preparation methods of the sulfur dioxide. Sulfur followed by oxygen, first method. Second one is sulfur with -2 state, that is sulfide. Sulfide followed by what? Sulfide. Sulfide followed by what? Oxygen. The next is sulfur with the same oxidation state, that is +4. Those of all salts are said to be what? Sulfides. Sulfide followed by heating, decomposition. Sulfide of metals is having basic nature, hence on allowing this one to react with what? Acids like HCl. Next one is from the higher oxidation state. This is of same oxidation state, whereas higher oxidation state is sulfate, and this sulfate related acid is sulfuric acid, and that sulfuric acid is concentrated sulfuric acid. Thus concentrated sulfuric acid in reaction with metals which are easily undergo oxidation and form the corresponding +2 state and the +1 state, like metals like copper, magnesium, etc. And next one is even that one on reaction with the non-metals like carbon and the sulfur, because there also readily undergoes oxidation and forms the corresponding oxides like carbon dioxide as well as the sulfur dioxide. The next is the same +6 state. That +6 state is sulfate. Sulfate is higher oxidation state. We want to make it to undergo reduction. For that reduction process we are using carbon, because carbon when involves in the reaction, it undergoes oxidation to form either carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide. In that process entropy increases. In such a manner, calcium sulfide on reaction with carbon followed by heating conditions of more than 1000 degrees, here reaction takes place, redox reaction. Thus it leads to the formation of calcium related oxide, calcium oxide, carbon related oxide, carbon dioxide, followed by what? Here reduction occurs here because here it is oxidation, hence sulfur dioxide formation takes place, and it is dried over same nature containing acid, that is sulfuric acid. Chemical properties of sulfur dioxide. Till now the preparation methods of sulfur dioxide are completed. Now let us go for the exclusive discussion portion related study of sulfur dioxide's related chemical properties. First one is thermal decomposition. See, sulfur dioxide is maintaining +4 as the oxidation state. It is not the highest oxidation, it is not the highest possible oxidation state, because there is a highest possible oxidation state of +6. So therefore here on heating at very high temperature like 1200 degrees centigrade, sulfur dioxide also undergoes thermal decomposition, whereas thermally decomposes in such a way that it leads to the formation of one is sulfur and second one is sulfur trioxide. Sulfur trioxide is maintaining +6 as the oxidation state, whereas sulfur is maintaining as 0 as the oxidation state. And this reaction is example for what? Redox reaction. This is possible, that is at high temperature, and in that it is undergoing decomposition, hence it is said to be what? Thermal decomposition. There is no other reagent, just sulfur dioxide followed by effect of heating over the sulfur dioxide. At high temperature it undergoes a decomposition in such a way that one is oxidized product, second one is reduction product is obtained. This is thermal decomposition. And second one is combustibility. See, sulfur dioxide neither undergoes any combustion or not support the combustion. It doesn't have such a nature that it does not involve in combustion, and at the same time it does not support the combustion also. But exceptionally, when burning potassium or burning magnesium is present, it is already burning in situation. That burning magnesium and the burning potassium in the atmosphere of sulfur dioxide also involves sulfur dioxide in chemical transformations. Thus, burning magnesium on reaction with sulfur dioxide, that is magnesium followed by sulfur dioxide. it is converted to magnesium sulfide followed by magnesium oxide. Here this is a redox reaction because magnesium is maintaining 0 state is converted to magnesium 2 plus. Similarly, sulfur of plus 4 is converted to sulfur of minus 2 and oxygen of minus 2 is maintained as oxygen of minus 2. It underwent reduction, it underwent oxidation. The electropositive atom underwent oxidation, electronegative atom underwent reduction. Hence, this process is a redox process. Similarly, burning potassium on reaction with sulfur dioxide, that is K followed by sulfur dioxide, it leads to the formation of potassium sulfite followed by potassium thiosulfate. Two varieties of compounds are formed. One is potassium sulfite and second one is potassium thiosulfate. This is potassium sulfite. Everybody knows sulfate is SO4, SO3 2 minus. Thiosulfate, that is S2O3 2 minus, that is said to be thiosulfate, that is K2 S2O3, and potassium sulfate is K2SO3. Corresponding structures are like this. Potassium underwent here oxidation 0 to plus 1, whereas let us go for the sulfur in this situation. Sulfur is maintaining plus 4 as the state here. Here also it maintains plus 4 as the state. See, potassium sulfite followed by potassium thiosulfate, whereas in potassium sulfite oxidation state of sulfur is plus 4. You can't find any kind of reduction over here. But here in potassium thiosulfate, here what happens is these two sulfurs commonly maintains an oxidation number of plus 4, that is 2 sulfurs are maintaining plus 4 as the state, implies every one sulfur is maintaining plus 2. In the beginning it is maintaining plus 4, that plus 4 is converted to plus 2. Hence this reaction is a redox reaction. Thus sulfur dioxide in presence of burning magnesium and in presence of burning potassium undergoes redox reactions. As a result it forms magnesium oxide, magnesium sulfide, and in the second case it forms potassium sulfite followed by potassium thiosulfate. Other reactions of sulfur dioxide. As per the structural features of sulfur dioxide is concerned, it is having plus 4 as the oxidation state, and moreover it is associated with vacant d orbitals. It is having lone pair of electrons, and at the same time it is having pi bond connectivity with the oxygen. Thus it is acting as a good reagent. It can enhance its valencies also, because a lone pair is present, vacant orbitals are present. Due to that reason, it is involves in addition reactions to enhance its oxidation number, to enhance its the valencies, that is sigma connectivities. Thus, on reaction with oxygen, sulfur dioxide molecule is converted to sulfur trioxide, but that is a reversible reaction. In presence of platinum as a catalyst, extreme conditions are used, which is used as a method for the preparation of sulfuric acid. On reaction with chlorine, 2 chlorine atoms, because it can extend its valency by another 2 units. If one lone pair is promoted, it is generating 2 unpaired electrons. Hence it can combine with the 2 valency equivalent of chlorine, that is 1 chlorine. As a result, it is converted to SO2Cl2, that is said to be sulfuryl chloride. The structure of sulfuryl chloride is like this. Similarly, it readily combines with the metal oxides. Suppose lead oxide is there, that is lead is present in plus 4 oxidation state, lead dioxide. On reaction with lead dioxide, it is converted to lead sulfate. Like this, in addition reactions, it forms sulfur trioxide, it forms sulfuryl chloride, it can form lead sulfide like substances. As an acid, because sulfur trioxide is known as anhydride of sulfurous acid. Whenever it dissolves inside the water, it is going to be generating an acid. That acid is maintaining same oxidation state, plus 4. As being it is less by 2 units of the highest oxidation state of the group, that is ic acid. Compared to ic acid, it is by 2 units, hence we are naming it as us acid. That us acid is sulfurous acid. The structure of sulfurous acid is like this. So it is having 2 OH connectivities. So OH bond is weak bond because oxygen is more electronegative. It can be broken and it is converted to H plus ions followed by corresponding oxygen minus. Thus, it can generate two varieties of salts by giving out 1H plus HSO3 minus is generated, by giving out 2H plus as out, and it is generating SO3 2 minus. SO3 2 minus combined corresponding salts are said to be the sulfides, whereas HSO3 minus salts are said to be the sulfides, but they are having hydrogen, hence it is said to be bisulfide. So therefore H2SO3 after undergoing an ionization, the first ionization which is generally higher in quantity is converted to HSO3 minus. HSO3 with a weak dissociation constant involves in second ionization, and here it is generating SO3 2 minus. This is SO3 2 minus is sulfide and HSO3 minus is what? Bisulfite. Thus, in a chemical transformation, if excess amount of sulfurous acid is there, then the corresponding salt formed is from its unionization, that is bisulfite salt is formed. If excess is there, so therefore it doesn't undergo second, because if it is limited, if it is not sufficient from its first ionization, then it participates in the second ionization. Else within first, if it satisfies quantity sufficient enough, then with the first ionization it will be present and corresponding formed salts are said to be the bisulfite. If bisulfite concentration is formed but it needs extra H plus, so there is no sulfurous acid, under that situation this bisulfite also undergoes dissociation to give another one H plus, and thus if less concentration of sulfurous acid or sulfur dioxide is there, corresponding salt is sulfite. If excess is there, corresponding salt is bisulfite. That's what on reaction with the calcium related compounds, calcium oxide, calcium sulfide formation takes place. Whereas excess sulfur dioxide if we send, then excess amount of acid is available. So if excess amount of acid is there, it stops at the sulfide stage, bisulfite stage. Whereas if excess amount of acid is there, it stops at the bisulfite stage. If more amount of sulfur dioxide is sent, then it stops at the bisulfite stage. Whereas if little amount of sulfur dioxide is there, then it leads to the formation of sulfite. Thus, if excess concentration of sulfurous acid is there, then it will be at the bisulfite. If lower concentration of sulfurous acid is there, then it stops at the sulfite stage. Let us go for the examples of sulfur dioxide with the base. Suppose on reaction with sodium hydroxide, if a limited quantity is taken, that it is going to be forming, limited quantity implies what? Full dissociation will occur, that is sodium sulfate formation takes place. If excess quantity is there, that is single dissociation takes place, that is stage 1 dissociation takes place, then it leads to the formation of sodium bisulfite. Similarly with calcium hydroxide, limited quantity leads to the formation of calcium sulfide, which is a white precipitate. We will use this particular technique in qualitative analysis. Whereas if excess quantity of sulfur dioxide is sent, then what happens? Excess is there, monodissociation stage it stops, it leads to the formation of bisulfite. That bisulfite is soluble inside the water. Thus, we will use the presence of calcium oxide can be carbon dioxide presence, can be otherwise the sulfur dioxide presence related qualitative analysis leads to the white precipitate calcium sulfate, and the soluble complex like calcium bisulfate formation takes place. These are due to what? Excess quantity of the sulfur dioxide bisulfite formation. Limited quantity of sulfur dioxide related salts are sulfite salts are going to be formed. It is also acting as good reducing agent also. Whereas the sulfur dioxide in presence of moisture, it is converted to sulfuric acid followed by nascent hydrogens. Due to this nascent hydrogens, it is acting as good reducing agent. So therefore sulfur dioxide plus moisture, it is converted to sulfuric acid followed by what? Nascent hydrogens. Thus in presence of moisture, it is the best reducing agent. You have to provide either water or the moisture to make sulfur dioxide as a good reducing agent. Thus it reduces many of the things. Suppose chlorine is there, this chlorine is converted to HCl, that is zero oxidation state is converted to minus oxidation state. Similarly bromine is converted to HBr, iodine is converted to Hi. whereas in these all reactions sulfuric acid is formed. Similarly, the most oxidized compounds where there is no more oxidation is present. Such kind of compounds like potassium permanganate, potassium dichromate, manganese is with highest oxidation state +7, chromium is with maximum oxidation state +6. Such kind of compounds on reaction with sulfur dioxide followed by corresponding counter anions related acids, that is sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is associated with water in it. So on reaction with this manganese +7 is converted to manganese +2, chromium +6 is converted to chromium +3, that is chromium sulfate is obtained. Similarly, it also reduces the highest oxidation state containing nonmetals like HNO3 to NO2, potassium iodide to iodine, ferric sulfate to ferrous sulfate, even cupric chloride is also converted to cuprous chloride, that is Cu to CuCl, otherwise Cu to Cl. Oxidizing agent. Sulfur is present in +4 oxidation state, whereas it is generally not acting as any kind of oxidizing agent because it is not interested to undergo any kind of reduction. But a situation demands in such a way that the reducing agent is strongest reducing agent. Under that situation, it is acting as mild oxidizing agent. That's what here it is acting as a mild oxidizing agent when it is treated with strongest oxidizing agents like H2S, carbon monoxide, hydrogen, SnCl4, Hg2Cl2. Here these of all readily undergoes oxidation. It want to converts to sulfur, it want to converts to carbon dioxide, it want to converts to water, and it want to converts to SnCl4. Similarly here Hg2Cl2, nothing but what HgCl, want to converts to HgCl2. Such kind of reactions where these of all are strongest reducing agents. Similarly, metals are strong reducing agents like magnesium, potassium. Ferrous want to converts to its corresponding positive oxidation state. When they allow to react with sulfur dioxide also, they forces sulfur dioxide to undergo reduction, and these of all are oxidized to positive oxidation states. Under that situation, it is acting as oxidizing agent. Hence, we can say sulfur dioxide as mild oxidizing agent. That is not the oxidizing agent. Under extreme situations of strongest reducing agents presence, it is acting as mild oxidizing agent. Thus, as an oxidizing agent on reaction with H2S followed by sulfur dioxide, sulfur underwent reduction here and it is converted to SO4 2 minus of +4 oxidation state is converted to 0 oxidation state. Here -2 oxidation state is converted to where 0 oxidation state, that is oxidation and the reduction. Such kind of reactions are redox reactions and the Kahn proportionation reactions. Similarly, on reaction with carbon monoxide, it is converted to carbon dioxide followed by sulfur, simple reduction. H2 is converted to water followed by sulfur, simple reduction. SnCl4 is converted to SnCl4, but we required extra amount of chlorine that is supplied from HCl. In presence of HCl, it is converted to SnCl4 followed by sulfur followed by water. Here HgCl is converted to HgCl2. Spectator extra chlorine is required, that is supplied from HCl. In presence of HCl, it is converted to sulfur, HgCl2 followed by water molecules. Similarly, metals like magnesium on reaction with sulfur dioxide, it is converted to magnesium oxide and magnesium sulfide. No extra spectator ion is required. Hence, if sulfur undergoes oxidation here, magnesium undergoes oxidation here, so therefore sulfur undergoes reduction. Oxygen always maintains, that is the highest oxidation state, it maintains as it is. So therefore sulfur should undergo reduction, that is magnesium sulfide. Similarly, ferrous oxide followed by ferrous sulfide formation occurs. And potassium, already we made the discussion. Burning potassium on reaction with the sulfur dioxide, it is converted to potassium sulfide followed by potassium thiosulfide formation takes place. Here potassium underwent oxidation. For these two sulfurs, common oxidation state is +2, implies what? It underwent reduction. The another one important property of sulfur dioxide is bleaching action. As a bleaching agent, it will work, but that bleaching action is due to moisture, whereas If moisture is not present, if it is dry sulfur dioxide, then bleaching action is not present. Whereas what will happen to work sulfur dioxide as bleaching agent is, sulfur dioxide when allowed to react with water, it is converted to sulfuric acid followed by generating nascent hydrogens. This nascent hydrogen is responsible for the bleaching action. Any colored matter is there, colored matter plus nascent hydrogen, it is converts it as colorless matter. But it is temporary. Once again, whatever the colorless matter generated is allowed to react with the atmospheric air, that nascent hydrogen recombines with the oxygen and it is converted towards the water molecule, thus color is regained. Thus, colored matter plus hydrogen is converted to colorless. This hydrogen is nascent hydrogen which is generated by the reaction of sulfur dioxide with the moisture. Especially this is moisture. Whereas this colorless matter, once again, if it is exposed towards the air, it is converted to colored matter because the nascent hydrogen recombines with the oxygen of the air and it is converted to water. Thus, bleaching action of sulfur dioxide is a temporary action, it is not the permanent action, and is due to nascent hydrogens and is possible in presence of moisture. And is due to temporary reduction of the colored matter. Whichever conjugation is there, whichever is responsible for the color of the extended conjugation, that is disturbed due to this nascent hydrogen. Once again, in presence of air, it forces that hydrogen to move away from the system. As a result, conjugation is re-established. Thus, color property is regained for the materials. The physiological action of sulfur dioxide. If sulfur dioxide is inhaled excess amounts, then what it will cause is, it causes inflammation in lungs, and the often inhalation of sulfur dioxide, not only inflammation extends and it leads to the asthma. It leads to asthma.